Hi everyone and welcome back to this week's video. Sorry if it's a little bit late off the start. I've had some internet trouble, but I'm going to try and keep my video upload as regular as I possibly can. Thank you for tuning in. Just wanted to say a big thank you for clicking on the video, and if you wouldn't mind liking, subscribing and leaving some comments, it really does go a long way to support me, and I'm really grateful for all the help you guys give me. If there's also anything you would like to see on the channel, you would like to see me paint something or try something, please do let me know down below and I'll have a look through. In this week's video I'm going to be looking at a set of paints I received for Christmas, and I've been excited to try them for the last couple of months, but I haven't really had time to sit down and use them. This is the autumn inspired Gansai set by Choosing Keeping. Choosing Keeping is a stationery shop here in the UK, and they sell lots of very nice, high quality and quite hard to find art supplies and stationery. I've had some of their paint sets in the past, but only their smaller ones. And this is one of their larger sets. They have one for each of the seasons, so the colours are all different, inspired by the different times of year. As I've said, this one is the autumn set, and it comes in a beautiful paper box like most Gansai sets tend to, but this one's got a lovely picture on the front. The paints come in these large pans and they work just like watercolours, but they can be used quite thick like gouache, so they're sort of a hybrid paint. The paints come with a little colour chart that you can fill in, which I am going to do, and all of the colours are really nice and vibrant. I like that some of them are textured and kind of have some undertones to them that are pretty subtle. The first thing that might stand out to you, as it did to me, is I'm not entirely sure what inspired some of the colours in this set, because they're not what I would consider autumn colours. Some of them are, there's lots of nice greens and earth tones, but a couple of them stood out to me. The colours that stood out to me as a little bit odd are this kind of like an ultramarine blue, there's a light pastel pink, there's a magenta, and there's a pretty acidic lemon yellow. Now, I think I know why the blue, the magenta and the yellow are here, and that's because they are really good mixing colours, so I understand why they would want to include them in this set. It just kind of makes the colours a little bit more versatile, I suppose. I'm not too sure why the light pink is in here. I wouldn't select that for an autumn set, but maybe it's got some significance in Japan because this is a Japanese set. But I do like all of the colours, and I think that it is a good selection. Like I say, even though there's a couple of brighter colours, I can understand why they're here. I'm quite glad that there's a magenta, because it's one of my favourite mixing colours. It's great for making greys. The set also has a gold colour, which is really nice. It's a nice tone of gold, but I found it a bit hard to activate. I left a bead of water on the paint for, must have been about 10 minutes. It was quite a long time before I started using it, and you can see in the footage I had to really work it to get the paint to activate. I'm not too sure if that's just for now, maybe there's some kind of coating on top, but I thought I would mention that because I have used gold Gansai before and I found it really easy to activate, so it was strange that this one took a lot of work. But it is a really nice colour once it's dried, it's got a lovely tone to it. But yeah, the colour selection, we've got kind of a, what I would call an alizarin crimson. We've got kind of a carmine-y pinky red. We've got maybe like a vermilion red, like an orangey red. There's a turquoisey kind of, it's not quite perylene green and it's not quite a deep turquoise colour. There's the ultramarine blue. There's this nice brown that kind of has like a muddy undertone to it. It kind of granulates and separates out. It's a nice earthy colour. We've got the gold. We've got a kind of buff colour or a warm grey. We've got this light, delicate pink. It's a nice colour. I'm not sure why it's here, but it is a nice colour. We've got kind of an olivey green. We've got a sepia colour. We've got that bright lemony yellow. We've got this really nice sort of eggplant purple, which I used a lot in the demo painting later on. We've got the magenta. We've got kind of this, it's kind of a caput mortem, sort of pinky brown, not quite potter's pink colour, which is really nice as well. We've got sort of a sap green, a more neutral grey, a not quite, got this yellow. It's not quite Naples yellow, but it's, I would say that it's kind of a Naples yellow. And then we've got two nice orangey browns. One's a little bit more orange and one's a little bit more brown. So I'd say they're kind of burnt sienna type colours. So for the demo for this week's painting, I'm going to be painting some mushrooms. The original sketch for this piece I did literally years ago. So I've only just gotten around to painting it now, but yeah, I'm gonna let you enjoy the demo and then I'll come back at the end with a few more of my thoughts. Overall, I found these paints really nice. I'm doing this painting on Archer's cold press paper and they work great. I built this one up with lots of thin layers, and towards the end I used some of the paint a little bit more opaquely just to see what it was like, and that also worked great. One thing I have noticed about the choosing keeping paints, I've noticed this with the others I have from them, I have a couple of their Decades palettes, is if you've used Curatak Gansai, which I would say is the more available type of this paint, I think a lot of people have tried that or at least seen those palettes. They're also great, but I found when I tried them, maybe it's just me, but when you use them more opaque, when they dry kind of shiny and they've got a bit of a tackiness to them, whereas the choosing keeping ones tend to dry a bit more matte. I wouldn't say as matte as gouache, but they're not as tacky as the Curatak Gansai. So they are different, but I would say that they are very comparable. If you've used the Curatak ones in the past and you like them, I would say you like these paints. They are great if you're kind of a mixed media painter or you like a bit of versatility in your work. They're wonderful for that. Like I say, these are great because you have that opaque option, but also if you use a lot of water, then you get all these interesting effects, and they mix really nicely as well. I did use a little bit of white gouache with this demo painting as well, just because there's no white in the set and sometimes you need that. And the gouache mixes with these great as well, so you could use them with your watercolours or your gouache. But overall I found them really nice and easy to use. I would recommend this palette if you're interested in it. I know that it is quite expensive and it's a bit of an investment. So if this is your first time trying Gansai, maybe go with one of the cheaper palettes or try some Curatak Gansai just to see if you actually like the paint first before investing in a palette like this. But if you know you already like them and you like these colours, I would definitely recommend them. So like I say, there's quite a few different palettes that they do. This one is from the Seasons set, and I thought this one looked really nice. The winter one looks really nice as well, but I don't think it's as versatile as this one. I think you could use this to paint almost anything, especially with those mixing colours, but the winter one is very limited. It's very nice, but it's a lot more limited than these. But yeah, everyone, thank you for watching so much, and I really hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. Again, I'm sorry if my upload schedule is going to be a little bit off over the next few weeks. I'm having some internet trouble, but I'm going to try my best to work around it. But yeah, thank you for tuning in, everyone, and please like and subscribe, leave comments. It does a lot to help me, and it's completely free for you guys as well. Yeah, thank you for tuning in, everyone, and I'll catch you again very soon, hopefully in the next video. Bye for now.